Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Tea with Kimberly. So please grab a cup of tea, maybe a journal and pen, and I'm going to walk you through some ideas for finding tranquility within the changing seasons. Right. And I've got my notes here. So if you're like, what are you looking at? I'm going to be looking to the right just slightly. But I want to start with like the idea of tuning into nature's rhythms. So as we get closer to fall or spring, winter, all the things, right? It's like, how can we cultivate a sense of connection to this new season and to set ourselves up in a way that is really as comforting as possible? And so the first thing I have is as we tune into nature's rhythms is also like, how do we get outside? How do we take advantage of this time of the year? How do we get a little dose of what I like to call vitamin N, little nature, right? That we're just allowing ourselves to drop into. So, a few ideas here. I've got making time to observe the changes in nature all around us. And we're so good at just going from point A to point B and not really paying attention. So, this is a lot about really noticing what is happening and going on around. So, going for walks in the parks, observing again the changes in nature and the changes even in yourself as you're out and about. The other thing that is about kind of tuning into nature's rhythms is also tuning into, well, what is available this time of the year. So, say fall, we've got pumpkins, we've got apples, right? We've got so many beautiful things that are different that time of the year than others. And so, how can you really tap into something that is unique about the season that you love? And right, so there's apples, squash, pumpkins, root vegetables, and also thinking about how we can support local agriculture by our choices. So, keeping that in mind as you also tune into nature's rhythms. And I also love this idea of as the leaves are starting to fall, asking yourself too, what do you want to shed? What do you want to let go of? What do you want to make space for? Just a few things to keep in mind. Also, as we consider adjusting our daily routine, right? Because the light patterns are going to be different, the temperature patterns are going to be different. So, thinking for you, what would allow you to really adjust your routine? Maybe you're going to get up earlier, maybe you are going to go to bed earlier. So, just kind of tuning into these and what works best for you. But, for as you notice, like the shorter days, I find for me, as the days get shorter, that I tend to want to go to bed earlier, sometimes like 9. So for you, what is it? And recognizing how the environment shifts our overall daily routine and noticing, does that work for you? Does it not? There's no right or wrong, but just are there any shifts that would be helpful for you to make to help the season feel a little less jarring as we slide into it? Now, number three, the idea is like your home environment, right? So, how do we make it of the season and really comfy and cozy, a true like tranquil space? So, I've got the idea here, of course, lighting candles. I'm all about like twinkle lights, bringing in little elements of the season. So, say for fall, like pine cones, cute little pumpkins, things along the leaves, things along those lines, acorns. And then also you can swap up because sometimes just a little shift can make a big difference in our environment. And, maybe it's getting a new throw or a new pillow cover, just these little things that, like, oh, just going to freshen it up a little. And then also the sense of the season can be really nice to be using and sharing in your office and home space. Number four is seasonal self care. So, really thinking about what do I need more or less of this time of the year? Maybe I need to make sure I'm getting more vitamin D. Maybe I need to make sure that I'm staying hydrated enough or I'm getting enough fresh fruits and vegetables. So, whatever it is, another thing is the air tends to get drier. And I like to just make sure that I've got humidification happening. I've got like a good humidifier. I am using lots of lotion just to kind of keep myself nice and hydrated. So for you, what could that be? And then also certain mindful movement practices that will help you feel like you're able to drop kind of more into the season. So I have here like as the weather cools, thinking of gentler forms of exercise. And, with that, I like to think of yin yoga or these practices, even seated meditation, that just allow you to really drop in to like a softer, gentler experience. And I feel like summer can be so much about heat and outdoors and what have you, whereas as we move more into fall, winter, it's a little more yin light. And then last but not least, and of course this ties in with everything that I like to share and do with Tranquility du Jour, is reflecting and setting intentions. And I'm all about seasonal reflection, which is what I've done and offered for years. And the idea is where you just really kind of look at, okay, here's my life review. How are things feeling? What needs a little change? What do I want to let go of? What do I want to add? Oh, I didn't realize I really haven't been paying attention to this part of my life. I need to, like, say it's relationships, I need to, get more kind of dates on the schedule and reconnect with people, things along those lines. So, what I have here is journaling, of course, always helps, setting intentions. And then also, I have here gratitude practice. And as we get closer to November and Thanksgiving, it becomes very much top of mind. But how can this be something that is regularly on your mind, right? So, reflecting and setting intentions. I always like to think about planting those seeds and then watering them. So, again, I've got the idea of like tuning into nature's rhythms, adjusting your routine as you need, aligning your home and your workspace with the season. And it could be, again, as simple as just a new throw or something that helps you feel like you're, or a pumpkin spice candle, whatever it is that's just going to help you feel like I'm really getting into the season. And then seasonal self-care, because it does shift, from season to season what we need. And really, I find like in fall and winter, need lots of like humidifiers. And I tend to have this little one that goes on my desk. It's pink, just a little one, and it'll just be sitting here. And then I just have kind of like the air coming out ever so often, and it's intermittent and it's just kind of nice. So it's more like a facial one. And then reflecting and setting intentions and really thinking about, what do I want for myself in this season? What does the season mean to me? What do I want it to look like? Well, how do I want to show up? And really getting intentional about all of that. So I hope this is helpful as you think about embracing and really like welcoming tranquility into your new season. Thanks for tuning in.